Division involving 0. So before we start talking about division involving 0, let's talk a little bit about division and what it means. I think it can kind of help to think about division as being like cookies per person. So you baked a batch of cookies and now you need to split them up amongst people. So when you have a fraction, the top part you can think of as the number of cookies, and the bottom part you could think of as the number of people. When we involve 0 in this, it gets a little bit weird. Let's talk about it without 0 for a moment. So I could say 3 halves, and you could think of it as like 3 cookies to be split up amongst 2 people. And that kind of makes sense. You have to do some cookie breaking, but not a big deal. What gets weird is when I add that 0 in there. So if I said 0 over 2, like my first example here, if I say 0 over 2, I'm splitting 0 cookies among 2 people. Now that's a little weird, right? It's a little weird, but you could do it. You just give no cookies to everybody and it works out. So if you give 0 cookies to 2 people, how many cookies did each person get? Each person got 0 cookies. So 0 divided by 2, that gives you 0. Now, if we reversed this and instead said 2 divided by 0, I'm taking 2 cookies and I'm giving them to 0 people. How many cookies did each person get? It makes no sense, right? I can't take 2 cookies and divide them amongst 0 people and then answer the question, how many cookies did each person get? Because it doesn't make any sense. So when we have a situation like this, we call this number undefined. If you're dividing by 0, the number is undefined. It's not a real number, and it doesn't give you an actual answer. So this topic in Alex is going to have you just answering whether something is 0 or whether it's undefined. They're going to look a little bit like this example I have written down below. Now, this guy right here, 9 divided by 0, if you think about our situation up here, it's easy to see that that's going to be an undefined situation. It's these middle two that are a bit weird. When you're rewriting fractions, division as a fraction rather, the first number goes on top and the second number goes on the bottom. And it's kind of intuitive. It's the way you hope it would work. So this is the same as 3 divided by 0. When 0 is in the denominator, that's when it's undefined. Here, this is the same as, right, this is the top, that's the bottom, so 0 divided by 6. Totally okay to divide 0 cookies into 6 people. Everyone gets 0 cookies, so the answer here is 0. So 0 on top, which is also known as the numerator, means that it equals 0. If you have 0 on bottom, we also know that to be the denominator. That's when it's going to be undefined. If you can keep that rule in mind, you're going to be in good shape. 0 on top, 0. 0 on bottom, bad. Bottom, bad. You know what? Memorize it that way. 0 on the bottom is bad. B, bottom, bad. Yeah. All right. That's all I have to say on this topic. You're doing great. Keep believing in yourself.